welcome back to the Mompreneur Mentor YouTube channel. I am super excited to introduce you to another Air Fryer Secrets co-author today. I have with me the fabulous Miss Lori McNeil. Lori, thank you so much for being on the show today. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here and to visit with you today and to be a part of this amazing project with 70 other amazing rock star experts out there in the world. My name is Lori McNeil. I'm an international business coach and media strategist. So I do travel all over the world, teaching people how to live out a greater legacy with purpose while using media to do it.
Oh my gosh, wow, that is amazing. And just so you guys know, we're interviewing all the co-authors on our Air Fryer Secrets playlist, but spoiler alert, there's a new working title in the mix, we've been told. So stay tuned, we're not trying to confuse you. Lori, that is such an amazing mission and so unique. All the authors have had very unique backgrounds. How did you get into media and start?
Yes, well, that's kind of an interesting story. I am a retired business professor of 23 years. And so in all of my years in entrepreneurship, having my own businesses and teaching other people how to build and maintain successful businesses, I then, after I retired, decided to make that full-time leap into just really diving a lot deeper into what I wanted to accomplish in the world, and then honestly taking that so much further than I was able to within the confines of the educational system. And so to really teach people how to dig a little bit deeper into building a business with a mission, a business with purpose, impacting more people, just really created this snowball effect for the type of business that I wanted to build and the type of impact that I wanted to build. So I mixed all of my business knowledge and experience, specifically coupled that with media strategy, because I also learned throughout the years that really building your brand, having those public relations, messaging, the relationships, using media, all forms of media, both traditional and non-traditional, to really impact more people, to reach more people faster, really helped. I was able to see many times over how much that was able to really launch a lot of people to that next level that they were after. And I actually experienced this myself when I was just a very, very young girl. I actually had my third business when I was just 12 years old, actually. And for the very first time, I actually took out my first bank loan. It was basically my mom kind of backed it up for me at the bank with all the board bank members and all of that. But I went in and made my first official presentation, put on the best dress that I could, the whole 9 yards, and took out my first loan for $3,500 to buy equipment that I needed to start my own hot dog stand. So that was an amazing learning experience for me, not only business-wise on all levels, but specifically with media. I was able to really see the larger impact that media had when I was in the paper and being interviewed as a young entrepreneur and a whole bunch of stuff that was going on at that time, and having people come to me because they wanted to support me and because they wanted to be a part of what I was doing. And so at a very young age, I was able to really experience the true impact of media and how to leverage that. Now, of course, when I was very young, I didn't really know how to leverage media, but I learned very quickly the specific strategies that I needed in order to have a little bit more of a strategy, a little bit more of a plan in place to where I was able to use it when I wanted and in the ways that I wanted, and learn how to really build those relationships and build that out that exists in my process now. So it's kind of an interesting story about a young entrepreneur and how I learned not only about business as a young girl, but specifically how to utilize media.
That is so encouraging. All you ladies out there, it's never too late. You don't have to start at age 12, but we have had a few co-authors that said, yes, I started my entrepreneurial very young as a tween or as a child. And it is so extraordinary to me. So I'm very impressed by your background. That's very exciting, and I think it's very inspiring to our viewers. And thank you again for sharing that. That's such a fun story. So then I'm guessing, did Kevin need media services, or how did you meet Kevin Stephen Quinn and find out about Air Fryer Secrets, the book, which might be changing, but don't worry, guys. We'll keep you posted in the description box.
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of a funny story, because Kevin and I had connected online, just Facebook friends, and I think I was connected in his group at that time. This is way back last year, right, when all this started. And we have a lot of the same connections and a lot of the same friends who attend, a lot of the same events and that kind of stuff. But I actually had never met Kevin in person. But it was really funny because last year, when he started to develop this idea of the book and kind of throw it out there for interest and that kind of thing, I saw the post, but to be perfectly honest, I would kind of glance at it and I kind of had an idea of what was developing, but I wasn't really taking the time to dig deep into what Kevin was communicating in several posts. But what really got my attention was when people started tagging me. And the first couple of times I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I've already seen that. I've already seen that post. There's already kind of something going on. I don't have time for that, or I don't know if that's for me, or whatever. Especially because the title Air Fryer Secrets is a little different. So I just thought, oh, I don't know what that is, but that's not something that's within my sphere. But what was really funny is literally dozens of people started tagging me in his posts, and I thought, this is so weird. Why are so many people tagging me in these posts? So after like dozens of this kept happening, like I get these notifications, ding, ding, ding. And I thought, what in the world is going on? So finally, I took the time to read Kevin's posts and to dig a little bit deeper and to try to figure out why all of a sudden people were tagging me right and left. It was crazy. Then I began to learn more about what he was doing, what he was trying to put together. And there was a need for a media expert, because he had all these different topics that he was trying to find experts in and things. And tons of people were tagging me in several different categories. But of course, media came up as the predominant tag, because that's how a lot of people know me, as a media strategist expert. And so I reached out to Kevin, sent him a message, and I just said, hey, I keep getting tagged. Tell me more about what's going on. And he immediately said, oh my gosh, we would love to have you part of the book. Absolutely. We would be just, honored to have you be a part of this. And so that just started the actual kind of one-on-one communication really between Kevin and I, outside of just social media postings, on Facebook and stuff. And then, of course, I had the honor of meeting him for the first time in person at a kind of a private authors event that he had at his house in Boise a few months ago, and got to meet several of the other authors. And it was so cool because at Funnel Hacking Live last year, I met and was already starting to develop a lot of the relationships with several of the authors. And so it was like a big reunion where I got to see people I hadn't seen in a long time, and then also meet a lot of brand new, really cool people that I had really only known, through social media, but I got to meet them actually in the flesh, which was so neat, because all 70 of these authors are absolutely just amazing people. So I feel so honored to be a part of this incredible project.
I have to say, I agree with your sentiments. I feel super honored, and I can't wait to go to some of the live events. I know that they are going to be taking it on the road and doing some speaker events, which is really exciting.
In a strategy that is a little bit of balance of both, because the opportunities are different. So depending on what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish, you want to make sure that you're using the full spectrum that's available to you in all the opportunities. So it's not necessarily about going full speed ahead with only doing free stuff or only doing, paid stuff. In most cases, no matter what your goals are, in most cases, it actually better serves you and your client and your audience to actually do a little bit of both. So for instance, that might be that you utilize free writing opportunities to be featured in magazines. And it might be that you do a little bit of a pay to play type of a situation for your airtime or for your TV time, or that's just an example. So just depending on the outlet, depending on your goal, you want to try to figure out like what serves you the best. And then of course your time availability and your budget and all that kind of stuff as far as where you want to put the greatest focus in order to meet your target audience. So there's different ways to look at it. And that's why it's so important to have that strong strategy so that you know exactly why you do certain things and you don't do other things and why. So you need to have a better understanding of why that makes sense for you. So there's certain hard and fast strategies that I teach across the board. And then through deeper exploration, I might say, this is a better strategy for you specifically, and this is why. So I caution people about doing things that are like more the one size fits all, because truly there's not really a miracle pill, right? Not everything is going to work for everyone. So you need to always approach it with the mindset of what's going to work for your goals and your target audience. How can I take what Lori is teaching in the hard and fast strategies and tailor it and apply it to fit me a little bit more? That's one of the reasons why I'm always a little bit careful when people ask me for templates for stuff, because it's not that simple. It's not that hard. You don't want to overcomplicate it. It's not that hard, but you really have to make sure that it's your voice, your brand essence, your language, right? That's coming across even in your pitch or in all forms of communication. It really bothers me when people use too much of a form letter or too much of a form social media post or email or whatever that looks like, because then honestly, you start to get buried in all the other posts or in all the other emails when everything looks and sounds the same. So you have to always be willing to take the solid strategies that are proven and tailor it to be your voice and your messaging and your own branding. And that includes more than just your header and your logo.
That is true. We were just talking about that, how a lot of public figures and speakers will have a very branded look. The very same look, have a very branded wardrobe and a very branded background. Now, just to refresh our audience's memory, I know you have your pink. I love that. I love your pink because it's so femme, but it's also like a powerful, bold pink. And I think you're a rock star. 100% success rate is huge in the media industry. That is insane. I can't believe that. So can you give us a refresher, just to refresh the audience, the 5 Ps in your chapter for media strategy and why mindset is so important? I think a little bit of our recording was cut off with the interruptions. I want to make sure it's in there.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. So I talk a lot about mindset and the expectations because that just completely sets, your mental game. But the 5 Ps, which also then there's 5 points in a star, right? So that's why I also call it my 5-star strategy process. So I take you through the process of the pre-planning, which is a lot more of a strategy than you might think just by the simplicity of the title itself. And then I move you into the pitch process, which is where I teach the 2 main solid pitch strategies that have been proven 100% effective for me and for my clients. It doesn't mean that they're the only 2 out there that exist. You might have success in other areas, but these are the 2 solid strategies that I teach in everything that I teach. And then we move right into the last 3 Ps, which are the preparation, performance, and post planning, which include a lot more little tips and tricks regarding the interview itself, and then also how to, best prepare yourself, but then also how to repurpose that content so that you get invited back again, and you're really leveraging your content to its fullest and repurposing that. And let me tell you, it goes way beyond just an excited pre-post that's coming up and a post after the fact saying, here's some pictures and isn't it so great, and you move on. In most cases, a lot of people might make only 2 posts and then that's it. And then they're moving on to the next thing and the next thing. And so it's really important that people understand and not drop the ball on that post-planning, repurposing piece of my 5-star process.
That is so amazing. I really love how you got that. It's like there's a bunch of subliminal 5 and the star and the bees. I love how you packaged it all. So about your offer, every author in Air Fryer Secrets, soon to be launched as something else, digital entrepreneur might be in the works. It's all hush hush for now, guys. But in the book, every chapter has an offer at the end, which brings it so much more value and makes it just exponentially more valuable than the price that they're selling at. And as you guys know, all proceeds go to Operation Underground Railroad. So Lori, what is your offer focused on, and what can people expect with your offer?
So from my offer is actually a free guide where I talk about some of the biggest media mistakes that business owners and entrepreneurs are making. And I explain to you why they're a mistake and basically how to fix it. So I've actually expanded this. So I had it listed as the top 3 media mistakes. And there were just so many mistakes that people were making that I decided to go ahead and expand that. And now there's, I think I have like 9 or 10 or something in there. So I expanded the guide. I offer more value because there's so many simple mistakes that are keeping people stuck. And I really wanted to offer as much value as possible to just like, boom, in your face. Here are some of the biggest mistakes that I am like, that I'm seeing and that I'm experiencing and that I'm talking to thousands of people all over the world over and over and over and over and over. And honestly, if you just change one of those, it will be a game changer. But I literally provide you a very in-depth list of the top, 9 and 10 things. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any experience in media or if you've had experience, but maybe not as much as you want. Like, look through this list, digest it, do a reality check with where your mindset is, where your strategies, are, all these different things, and start to make those changes and start to make those shifts, because literally the list is right in front of you. So as long as you're honest with yourself about what's really happening in your business with your media strategy, it literally in itself is the most powerful guide that can be right in front of you when it comes to really taking your media to the next level.
Wow, that is amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on that. That is really exciting. So I know we've got entrepreneurs and mompreneurs out there watching, really interested in media and leveraging it. And I too feel that, because as a beginning entrepreneur, you don't realize that no matter what, your face is going to be your brand, and there can be no detriment to building a brand around your life as a person and a persona and a personality and an expert in your field. And a lot of people will be undercover experts and you never get to see their face, and they never get to this pinnacle of success up here because they're not willing to put themselves out there to be a face of the brand. And that fear of public speaking and being in the public eye and being scrutinized. You guys out there, I want to tell you right now, everything you're doing should be brand minded. Even your family life, your personal life, think of everything as your business. You're the CEO of your life. And I know a lot of them, myself included, are missing the mark on media and how important that is. So if they want to reach out to you, they want to schedule maybe a call, or they want to just chat you on or follow your page, or where can my audience find you on social media or a personal website? Or do you have services that you're currently offering that are more tailored than the free offer?
Yes, absolutely. I have all kinds of different opportunities for people to learn more and to get involved. Pretty much, I crack up at that question, where can people find you? Because Google me and you'll probably find me just about anywhere. But honestly, if you go to my personal website, which is lorimcneil.com, it's kind of a one-stop shop, because you can connect to me everywhere from there. So rather than having to remember, oh, did she say Facebook or did she say LinkedIn? Did she say, just if you go to my website, lorimcneil.com, you can connect with me anywhere, and you can even send me a private email from there. That just is probably the easiest way to reach me. Of course, reach out to me and connect with me on any of the social media sites more personally from there, and send me private messages that way, that kind of thing. But yes, I speak on stages all across the world. I host my own events. I have my own training programs, my own coaching programs. There's a lot of ways to get involved, to learn more and to connect with me. And let's just have a conversation and start that relationship building on how I can best serve you, how I can best help you in order to, level up with your media, because media is one of the fastest ways to scale your brand and your business. And it's so amazing to me how many people are completely missing the mark. They're watching everybody else, over here and over here and over here, who maybe haven't been in business as long, and they're frustrated figuring out, like, why all of a sudden are they getting the attention? Well, honestly, it's because they're probably more involved in media or putting themselves out there in all kinds of ways. Even if you're speaking on a stage, there's probably some media attention that came from you being on that stage, so there's all these different connections where I love what you said with just putting yourself out there and you living your life and not being afraid to get in front of people. That might just be a Facebook Live, it might be connecting with people more on email, whatever that looks like, just start. I'm a huge proponent of just starting somewhere and learning and building, whatever that looks like. You don't have to be on a national television network, this month. You can build as slow or as fast as you want, but use media to help you get to where you want to go. So that's one of the things I love about what I do every single day. I literally get to help people and guide them in that process from wherever they are to where they want to be.
I love that. I think you're a rock star. So you guys, maybe you're like me and you want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine one day, and that seems really far away right now, but you can also look into, if for me personally, I'm a mompreneur brand, so I could look into mommy blogs. I can start smaller and start in my network, look on mompreneur groups, and now I'm really fired up about it. Thank you, Lori, for getting me so excited about media. And get exposure and get out there. Don't forget to check Lori out on lorimcneil.com. We're going to put the description box links. They're going to have all the links down below. And if you guys loved this mini vlog, I promise you're going to love all the Air Fryer Secrets mini vlogs. So check out the YouTube playlist on the Mompreneur Mentor channel. If you're a newbie to our channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and please do comment below and let us know your thoughts on media, or maybe you've been featured in media and you want to get some extra SEO, pop it in the comments below. We'd love to meet you and interact with you. Before we wrap up, Lori, if you had one quote or mantra that's kind of kept you from your amazing entrepreneur journey, age 12 to now, or one piece of advice, because we've got viewers, I'm sure, who are more seasoned and then more just budding, beginning, starting to gestate their ideas as entrepreneurs. What would you put out there for them that was like your one go-to? Do you have a tagline or anything you can leave our audience with?
There's a couple of things that I've integrated into my messaging because I believe in it. I believe in certain, quotes or messaging like so much. But I can tell you one of the things that I've even personally taken a deeper dive into, even though I've believed it my whole career, is to be consistently persistent. And so if you watch me on social media at all, you'll see that I post a lot about being consistent, being persistent. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons why I took an even deeper dive over the last couple years, specifically with this, is that I've been one of the official speakers for the Think and Grow Rich Legacy World Tour. And that was what I spoke about on stage, was being consistently persistent, and that principle that Napoleon Hill teaches, researches, and talks about in his book. And so in that process of being on that tour, it's allowed me an opportunity to even take a deeper dive. So I've already believed it. I've already been able to see the amazing blessings that come from being persistent, being consistent. But I really, my level has been taken to, my thought process has been taken to a whole other level the last couple of years. it's so important. It's not just about, oh yeah, I make a post every day, or oh yeah, I reach out to people. So you want to really, really elevate your thinking with how persistent that you are in doing whatever it takes to get what you want, and then being consistent with that. So there's so many times, like for instance, if I'm sick or my son's sick or I'm traveling or just whatever, you'll always see me continuing to post articles, to make posts, to show up in the way that I'm staying in full integrity with the expectation that I have set, that that I'm trying to teach other people and whatever. So it's no excuses. Like outside of you maybe, I don't know, being in a life or death situation, like you really need to get in that healthier habit and mindset of being consistent. Get excuses completely out of your life, out of your habit, out of your world, and absolutely doing whatever it takes to be consistently persistent. So that's the 8th principle of the 13 principles that I spoke on in this world tour. And it really, really has made a huge difference in elevating my own thinking. And so I've incorporated it into my coaching, into my classes, into even just my messaging on social media more than ever before, because there is true power in that. Let that sink in, digest that, and let it like really just absorb your mindset and what that looks like for you. And then check yourself. Am I consistent with my kids? Am I persistently consistent, in my marriage or in my coaching relationships? Or, if you're in personal life, professional life, because I'm one of those people that truly believes that you're not two different people, right? You're fully stepping into, you should be the same person, when you're on and off stage, on and off camera. And so it's like you're looking at your whole life holistically. Are you devoted to your business, but your personal life is falling apart? Well, that's an integrity issue, my friends. It really is. So where do you need to really be honest with yourself, fill in those gaps, and be consistently persistent in what you really want in all aspects of your life?
I love that message. Boom, that hit me right here in my heart chakra. I love that. And congratulations on that huge accolade. That is an amazing world tour. And hey, for women everywhere, woo, go Lori!
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for being on the show today. If you guys aren't liked and subscribed, don't forget to do so. Chat with us in the comment box below. We are there. We are engaging. We are being consistently persistent. Thank you so much, Lori.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right, bye guys. Check out the whole playlist.